Hello, this is Anna Freeman and I'm doing my exit interview, and I'll be answering a couple of questions. So what made me want to intern with Freeman was, first of all, there was a job posting, and it was really rare to find something during COVID just because a lot of companies were unsure of what to do next. So that was like one of the big things, and I started reading the job descriptions and it kind of fit with what I wanted to do. You know, I definitely wanted to go into HR, and Freeman just kind of highlighted a lot of the HR capabilities and what the department would be doing, so that definitely piqued my interest. Since this is a fully remote internship, I just think it's kind of hard to get to know other coworkers or employees, just because you don't really get that day-to-day interaction, and I definitely think that having the intern lunch helped, and I definitely think any meetings with Miss Hoda and Christina definitely helped, or any even calls. I think my main wish would be to be able to collaborate more a little bit with my fellow interns, just because I would like to get to know them, especially if they go to San Diego State and have the same major, even work on a mini project with them. I think that would have been nice. So I don't really know what I think I was going to learn during this internship. I think it's more about the HR department in general, and once I got my project overview, it made a lot more sense, but at the same time it's kind of like an uncertainty of what I'm specifically going to do, but I really did not realize how much I was going to learn and how many different projects I would work on, so I'm super grateful for that. I list everything that I learned? No. I could try, but it's just such a long list. I've just learned so much. I think the big one is how to create a referral program. I worked on that a lot, and I think it's really beneficial. I've been reading a couple of articles recently of what companies should be doing after COVID, and one of them is actually doing a referral program. So I feel like that gives me a huge advantage going into the workforce, as I actually know how to create one. I also learned that employee engagement and retention, especially calling your employees, is super important. Employees like to be heard and listened to, and I just felt that was really important to do, and I definitely felt the feedback was very beneficial, and I think just being able to condense it and present it to upper management definitely gave me an upper hand, especially being able to present such important data of how the company can improve overall. Oh man, I just learned so much. I earned different processes of HR, so I learned how kind of the TA side works, learned a little bit about the laws involved when making the referral program. So there's just so many aspects to HR that I learned, and I'm super grateful for. Additionally, I think I've learned how to communicate better. I realized that asking questions is super important. I think I've realized a little more how different people work, especially in the work environment. So I think that definitely is a huge learning aspect, and I also learned how to just network in general. I also learned how to make newsletters and SMS campaigns and how to edit videos to advertise. So those are just other aspects that I was able to pick up and learn. I think the newsletter is a huge thing. It just also kind of incorporates employee engagement as well as SMS campaign. You just kind of want employees to know that you're there for them and that they're updated into company news. So those are just two other aspects that I learned as well. Learning experience that I value the most out of this internship is probably the referral program and the engagement calls, just because, like I stated, the referral program is probably going to be up and coming and really popular in the next year or so, and I just feel like it's a good skill to have. I also think the engagement calls were just super important. You kind of don't think to talk to other employees or kind of check in on them, and it just really highlighted the emphasis that this company has on employee engagement and how they value their employees. So it definitely is a culture that I kind of want to stick with. The company doesn't run without employees, so I just really enjoyed that aspect, and I definitely learned a lot from focusing on the employee engagement and retention aspect. I don't necessarily think that there was anything I didn't enjoy about my internship. I think the main one would be not really talking to anybody sometimes. It's a lot of independent work, so it just kind of gets lonely, but I kind of just found ways to keep myself preoccupied. We already are in the time of not really talking to people, or just because of COVID, so I feel like the one thing I didn't enjoy is I wasn't really talking to anybody. The company view that I had was, coming into it, was, I've been told that it's very culturally diverse. Questions are expected, And I honestly don't think that's changed. I definitely saw the cultural diversity, and that just got really emphasized. Like, I knew we all were from different backgrounds, but I think once you start working, you really see that aspect. And the asking questions, I never stopped asking questions, and I don't really think that changed. I think I just learned how to communicate better. I don't really think the view of the company necessarily changed. I just think it was kind of what I knew, and then it was like an improvement of what I knew. I can't really pick a favorite experience. I feel like every single project that I did was its own experience in itself, and it just helped me learn more about the HR department. I really did enjoy the referral program, and I think I enjoyed it most when it was going live because all my hard work was finally presentable to the world, so I think that was just a huge accomplishment. I also did enjoy the retention calls just because you just get to talk to other employees and kind of understand where they're coming from. I enjoy the newsletter and SMS campaigns. It was kind of like a creative way for work, so it was just kind of interesting to do. I do have to say that I really enjoyed presenting to upper management. I think that's a great experience that a lot of people don't get to experience, so I really did enjoy that. I would definitely recommend this internship to a classmate or friend. I would just state that it is an unpaid internship, and I know that may be hard for some college students, so I would just kind of tell them to consider it, but you definitely learn a lot about this company and this internship overall, so it would just be kind of like a side note that to consider that it is unpaid, but you literally learn so much that it's, I think, very worth it. I just really want to thank Miss Hoda and Christina for all your help. I do not know what I would do without both of you. You answered every single question that I had, and you were there when I was stuck, so I just really appreciate the both of you. I also really appreciate the rest of the team. Everybody was super open and accepting, and I just really appreciate everything the company has done for me, so thank you for that.